So I was driving on the way to Uber in Orange County, and early in the morning, traffic was jammed up way more than usual as I was driving, and so I was wondering what was going on. It was backed up for miles. It had to be an accident or something. So I was hoping and wishing for anybody involved in that accident that it wasn't too bad, that people weren't too hurt. Um, Unfortunately, we got to the scene and it was devastating. I think even more devastating than usual because I saw a white motorcycle on the ground, two cars plowed into each other, and I saw a body on the ground. I didn't have enough time to see if it was in a body bag. I know there were fire engines right behind me trying to go to the scene. So there's definitely some injuries involved, possibly a death, at least one, and hopefully not the motorcycle rider. And it just, I think I've talked so much lately, probably because it's not a coincidence that slowing down is so important. And I've talked so much about that lately. Is that we need to slow down, especially here in Southern California. It seems like we live such a fast paced lifestyle that we're always on the go to the next appointment, to work, get off work. Some people have to go pick up kids, on and on and on and on. It's like our obligations and everything that we have to do never end and are constantly back to back to back to back. Doesn't have to be that way. And even though today it wasn't raining, so it was safer to drive, possibly at faster speeds, but it's still no excuse. Just because it's drier, to rush, to go faster than normal, and to not watch out for motorcyclists, especially motorcyclists. They have two wheels. The rest of us have four or more wheels. So the onus, I believe firmly, the onus is on us. Us who drive cars, vehicles that are more stable, to be able to look out for those who aren't as stable. On two wheels, they have way more to worry about. And my motorcycle riding friends, I know that they are more aware than most of us. Because they have to be. Because every time they hop on, climb onto that bike, it is a life or death situation. But no matter how aware they might be, sometimes it's just not their fault. And for me, and I know it's in the DMV handbook somewhere, it's gotta be, I know it's gotta be, we have to look out for motorcyclists. That means going slower speeds when they're in front of us. Not, going at slow enough speed when they're behind us so that we have more reaction time to be able to put on the brakes if we need to stop up ahead. It's taking precautions like that because our brother or sister behind us or in front of us on two wheels deserve that dignity. Deserve us looking out for them because they matter. Well, all of us matter. I mean, the person who lost their life today, or hopefully not, but the person who got hurt today, we'll just put it that way. Their life matters. Whether it's the person in the car, the motorcycle, I don't care. But I want to just focus on the motorcyclists right now because this is a problem, especially here in Southern California. I was giving a ride to a passenger the other day, and he was saying, he was actually getting livid because he can't stand when people go way too fast or swing in and out of lanes, basically driving recklessly. And he said that he tested out a theory that going the speed limit does not make a significant difference or get you somewhere later, much later, compared to going 10 miles above the speed limit. He tested it at 75 miles per hour, compared it to 65 miles per hour. He got to his destination only 6 to 7 minutes quicker. Is that worth the extra risk of getting in an accident? Possibly with a motorcyclist who has way more chance for that accident to be fatal, and you take away someone's son, father, daughter, mother, etc., etc. Destroy their life as well as their family's life. I don't think 6 to 7 minutes is worth it. Not anymore. Even if you're late. As an Uber driver, I take pride in getting someone to their destination safely and as quickly as possible, but especially safely. I just go to speed limits. I plan my route out so I know if I'm making a right at the next stoplight, I'm in the far right lane already, so I don't have to swing and move lanes too much. I plan ahead. Planning ahead is a secret that works with everything in life. If the passenger is late to work already or whatever, it's not on me to try to shave off time so that they're not late. I'm sorry. Sorry, but not sorry. If anyone is late, if you're late, if you're running late, whatever, you're going to be late. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Sure, there was a time in my life where I would have done 100 miles an hour and possibly not been late. But I realize that I've never had a manager, never seen a manager who would ever tell me to go as fast as I want, risking my life or other people's lives to be able to get there on time. If I'm late, I'm late, and I take the consequences for that. And so should you. Not put the risk on yourself, because is that worth it? Even if you lose a job, you learn a lesson. Don't be late anymore. Period. But is losing your life, or possibly losing your life, worth technically being on time to your job or whatever obligation that you have and not losing that job? Sorry, I know finding a job is difficult nowadays, but it's not worth it. And again, it'll be a life lesson. Plan ahead. When I have an obligation or an appointment or anything, and here's some secrets, here's some tips that's worked for me, is I plan way ahead. I set up an appointment on my phone's calendar. I set up reminders for the day before so I don't forget that I have an appointment that next day. I set another reminder because iPhones let you do 2 reminders. And I set that one up for 2 hours prior to my appointment time. Or when I have to be at a job or whatever. And then I also set up an alarm, especially let's say it's a morning appointment, right? I set up an alarm for about 2 hours prior to the notification that I'm 2 hours away from that appointment time. Okay? Because I know that, especially in the morning, I need about 5 to 6, maybe 7, 8 chances to snooze. Yes, the snooze button is not my friend. But I know that about myself, so I'm completely self-aware to know that and set up my alarm at a time where I know I can snooze 5 to 6 times and still not be late. And it works. I'm tricking my mind. And in a way, I'm also becoming I think I am a morning person now. Because I've been up so early, my body is so used to it, and I actually start snoozing less. And there are days when I struggle with it, but I still set up that time that I need to be able to snooze the amount of times that I might need to snooze. And if I'm up earlier than that, up and about, taking a shower or whatever, then great, magical. But that's what I've done to try to help myself. And then once I get on the road to get on the way to the appointment, guess what? I've got less stress. Okay? Who doesn't want less stress in their life? You don't need more stressing out to get to an appointment on time. And that won't happen if you plan ahead. So less stress, so my body is doing better, my mind is doing better, my spirit's doing better, everything is doing better. I'm more healthy that way. Because of that, I don't have the anxiety of being late, because I've felt that. And that anxiety of being late will make you do things that will put more risk on you, especially when you're driving. It's going to make you speed up, maybe go 100 miles an hour so that you can get there on time because you're running late. Okay. And so you don't have as much anxiety. Like I said, the mental health will be better if you plan ahead. Because you're not going to feel that need. You're going to be so relaxed. You're going to be in a car. You're going to be going 65 miles an hour on the freeway. There are going to be people who might get mad at you, might get frustrated, might get annoyed. You know what? They can move over. It's not like I'm doing that on the fast lane. They can move over. And then I'm more aware of motorcyclists, which is very important to me, because today I was devastated. I didn't even know that rider, but I know friends of mine who are riders, and I can't even imagine hearing that they went down because someone was negligent and maybe they die. So start putting that perspective in your mind whenever you see a motorcycle, or you know what, for that matter, any car, and you start getting frustrated or annoyed or anxiety over being late. Try to develop this awareness of the people around you and think about what it would feel like if you did what you're about to do, speed up, maybe go really, 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 really fast, dangerously, recklessly. And what you would feel if you smashed into them. What you would feel if you took that bike down. Because a lot of times those are strangers, and yeah, they are. And so it's hard to be able to see them as anything other than a stranger. But if you practice this discipline of imagining that they are your loved one, I guarantee you, there's no boss in the world or fear of what your boss is going to do if you're late that's going to make you take that risk. And whatever happens when you get to work, or whatever happens when you get to that appointment, or whatever you're about to do, whatever happens, happens. Because you know what? Shit happens. And then when shit happens, you learn from it. that's it. And hopefully this kind of solemn, yeah, I know it's solemn, there's nothing funny or fun about this, but hopefully this is a good reminder. So at least in my life, in your life, for all of you who are watching this, we can take steps to prevent the kind of devastating accident and possible loss that I witnessed today on the freeway. Have a magical day.